So we'll share the recording after this class is over. So while we're waiting for everyone to join, I hope you can hear that nice music I have in the background. If you can hear the music and you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up.
My video will be
okay, if you can hear my music, use your thumbs, like your virtual thumbs up. And while we're waiting for more people to join, in the chat, if this is your first time on one of these information sessions, please put first timer in the comment. If you've been here before, just say if it's your first time, just say first timer. If you've joined before, say regular. First timer. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we have 2 first timers. First timer. Awesome. Thank you. We like it when we have first timers joining. And also let us know what part of the world you're joining us from. I am currently in Hamilton, Ontario, and that's in Canada. So let's know what part of the world you're joining us from. Okay, we have Kingston, we've got Brampton in the house. All right, so where else are you all joining us from? Apart from Kingston, we still have, I think we have 2 people that have not confirmed where they're joining us from. Let's just know, let's rep your city in the comment section. Rep your city. Rep your city in the comment section. Toronto. Awesome. So like I promised, I said we were going to start on time. So I will go ahead and start. Anyone who comes in later will just continue from wherever we land. So thank you all for joining us today for this information session. Some of you might already know what an information session is, but an information session is, I kind of call it like a try before you buy. You know, a lot of times that you want to do something, and it might be something big or something significant. Before you make a commitment or even decide before you make a commitment to it, before you dismiss it, it's good to go get a bit of information, with no commitment or whatever, right? So I kind of call it like a try before you buy, or like, oh, my latest car, I want to get a brand new Mercedes, a hybrid or an EV or whatever, and then, okay, let me go try this car and see, do I really like how it feels or not? So we have London in the building. So we have a lot of people from Ontario. That's fantastic. So that's what information sessions are all about. So some of you may have heard about Scrum. Some of you may not know much about it and you're curious, you've asked questions from your friends and you've not gotten like an understanding. So that might be why you're here. Some of you may be like, okay, you know what, I really want to do this Scrum thing, but I'm not ready yet because I need more information. Maybe you're here. And for some of you, it's like, you know what, maybe you don't have anything better to do on a Saturday, which I doubt. And that's why you're here. But I know that for people to come here, because this is a free session, a lot of people registered, but we only have 6 people joining. So I'm assuming that you're here because, yeah, you want to get this knowledge. So that's what the information session is all about. And I'll quickly introduce myself. So who am I? I am the founder of Redluxe Consulting. I'm the one who's doing this training. And I have over 15 years of experience in these roles: release train engineer, scrum master, project manager, and business analyst. And I've worked in so many industries, primarily the financial services industry. I was recognized last year as one of Canada's top 100 women to watch in 2023. I am a published author, and a Canadian Choice Award winner, and I've been featured in a number of publications. So let's quickly go to the table of content. What are you going to learn today? We're going to learn about what Agile is. We're going to learn about Scrum. We're going to understand what Scrum Masters do. And then we'll also discuss the career progression in Scrum. And then we'll talk about if you want to take the next step of getting into the Scrum role, that will be discussed. We have some juicy discounts at the at some point in time during the program, and then we'll do a Q&A. So our Q&A, we're going to make it interactive. If we just have a small group joining, then use this opportunity to get all your questions answered. So we're going to spend about 1.5 hours here. It might be less depending on how quickly we go. So these are our services. We're a training company, and what we do is we guide aspiring tech professionals in acquiring the hands-on skills that they require so that they can expedite their learning and skill development, enabling them to secure rewarding careers in the tech industry and start earning high-paying salaries. Our areas of expertise is Scrum Master training, business analysis training, project management, and we also help with resume review and interview preparation. So what makes us different? That very. Can you hear me? Because my connection is unstable. Okay. I hope it's not. Okay. So what do we do? We teach practical hands-on skills. So our trainings are not just theoretical, they are more hands-on and practical. Apart from that, we have skilled educators that have deep knowledge in the industry, and we provide continuous ongoing support to drive success. So what does this mean? We have communication channels where we're constantly sharing information to make sure that people are supported as they go through their tech career. Apart from that, I have a deep passion about tech. So above and beyond the things I train, I always have monthly webinars where different experts in different fields of a technology come to provide a mini training for free every month. We're sharing job search strategies, available job opportunities, and really helping our community grow as a whole. Why should you choose a career in tech? Why? Well, everyone's talking about tech. Why should we choose a career in tech? Because there are a lot of careers. Well, tech is one lucrative career. We all know that. So tech skills are global. It means that whatever tech skills you have today, even if you went to Dubai in a few months and decide to live in Dubai, with your tech skills, you're going to get a job. You don't have to go and do like any sort of like relicenses or go back to school. I'll give you an example. If you were a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, even though those skills are global, but when you move from one country to the other, you will have to do some sort of recertification in that country to understand how the practice is done in that country, to get licensed, to get certified before you can practice. Now, these things might take you a year or more years to get into the field. And so that means that while you're doing all of that, you can't work in the field that you like. You're doing something totally different that might not align with your with what you want to do. Apart from that, work-life balance and job satisfaction. First of all, tech people fortunately don't have to work extra hours. You're not working on weekends. You don't have to work outside of a 9 to 5. And there's job satisfaction because you get to work remote or hybrid, right? This is not a you must be in the office type of situation. That's a good thing about tech roles. You can be in Canada and work in the US, working in Dubai, working in Saudi Arabia, working anywhere in the world. So that's the good thing about having a career in tech. It's very, very, very flexible. And of course, we all know high paying and evergreen careers, right? So we all, if you have been paying attention to the industry, I've been in technology for more than 15 years. Um, it's it's continued to grow. There's more people paying attention to it than it was when I first joined. And with artificial intelligence taking over, we can tell that technology is not a gimmick. I don't know what's going to replace it. We're becoming more tech inclined, right? We're becoming more tech inclined as a race. So this is something that people want to pay attention to, right? Now, let's go into a bit of logistics. So I want you all, if you have any questions as I'm talking, while I'm talking, because we're not going to really be monitoring the chat, I would like you to go to this website called slido.com, right? In slido.com, please enter the code in slido.com, or feel free to scan this QR code and just go in there. That's where you can answer your questions. So I'll pause here for a second so that you can get into that website now. Okay, awesome. So I'm assuming that you're all there. Now we're going to discuss what is Agile. So before we do that, I want to bring up a screen for you all. I want you all to go into Slido. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm having some tech issues here. Okay, so let me just bring up our Slido. And Slido is taking a long time to load. Okay. Okay, finally. So please go into Slido. I will start the first poll. And the first poll, I want to be able to rank your, please tell us, rank on a scale of 1 to 10, rank your knowledge of Agile and Scrum at the start of this information session. So don't forget to go into Slido. So if you can get into Slido right now and rank your knowledge, that would be very helpful. So go in here where one is no knowledge and 10 is expert. So choose anything between this range. Okay, we've got 2 people. All right. Okay, are there anyone having issues with getting in there? Because we only have 2 people. Okay, we've got 3. We just need 1 more. All right. So we've got 3 responses. So I can see 6.3. We've got like a bit of 5. We have more people. We have 33%. Sorry, at 33% at 5 and 67 at 7. So we're looking at like intermediary and intermediate experience here. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead to the next section, right?
You will not call me.
So let's talk about what is Agile. So some of you already say you have experience. I'm going to be asking, there's going to be some questions. Those who already said they were at 6 and 7, you are going to be acing these questions. So let's discuss what Agile is before we go into Scrum, right? So we all know that Agile is a way of project delivery, right? Different from Waterfall. Waterfall was the old way of doing project delivery. We're not going to talk about Waterfall here. We're going to talk about Agile. So Agile is more of a software development approach that teams use to deliver smaller, faster, and more frequent value to their customers. And they use the Agile manifesto to do this. So what does Agile really look at? So rather than thinking of a project as a whole, they think of breaking down the project into small deliverables, small batches, so that we can give value to the customer faster. It promotes an iterative approach, and so that you can deliver small consumable releases rather than a big release. What does this mean? So think about it. Let's say you want a website done today, and this website is a very complex, big website with so much functionality, right? So in this way, instead of your developer coming and tell you that, okay, it's going to take me 8 months or 1 year to finish this website, your customers can't wait during that time, right? Your customers need something to work with, something to test. With Agile, what we look at and say, okay, every 2 weeks, so rather than looking at it in a whole, right? We're looking at what value can we deliver to each customer in small increments. So if we're using an Agile approach, it could be like every 2 weeks, can we get the login page of this website? The next 2 weeks, can we get the customer profile? The next week, can we get the statement? Like breaking this down. So what we're looking at is, rather than waiting for okay, in 8 months, let me see what this whole thing looks like. It's like, give us a piece of functionality that we can test and say, oh, it's working as it should, and then sign off and they continue to build. Now, the good thing about getting your work done in small bits is that you have the ability to respond to change. You have greater flexibility. So let's say, for example, they provide you a functionality in 2 weeks and the functionality is not as you expected. You can quickly make changes rather than waiting until 8 months to see that some parts of it don't work as you want. And then you've lost 8 months and now they have to make a change. Now, remember that AI has come to stay. If you guys think about it, AI has been around for a very long time, but it's more mainstream right now. With the advances in AI, our phones have changed, the way we use our software has changed. So now imagine if you are a company that was launching a website and you were going through the traditional approach of launching your website while your competitors have already integrated AI into their website. It took you 8 months to launch a website, right? Without AI. Can you guys tell me in the chat, would that website be competitive, or would it be competitive or not? If it took you 8 months to launch your website, now your competitors already integrated AI like 5 months ago. You launched after the 3rd month. You launched 8 months after, and you couldn't integrate AI. Would you have a competitive website? Do you think that your website would? Do you think your website would get any notice from customers? Yes or no? In the chat, please let me know. Yes or no? Would your website get? No, exactly. Because what your developer basically did is that it will take me 8 months to build this website. So don't talk to me until 8 months when I deliver the website. But now imagine, because by breaking that into small bits, every 2 weeks they provide a functionality. Suddenly AI comes to play. Your competitors are launching AI. What you can then do is say, okay, because AI is now a thing in the marketplace, and I need this website to have artificial intelligence, you can quickly make changes, right? You can quickly make changes by responding to change, because now you don't have to you don't have to wait for 8 months. You can now start making your changes every 2 weeks to get a website that at the end of the day is competitive in the marketplace. So this is what incremental and iterative development is. So a lot of us might remember that there's a joke on the internet about what I ordered versus what I got, right? It happens a lot in fashion business or in other things online, right? But can you imagine that it also happens in software delivery? As a software, as a maybe a business owner, you hire people and say, I want you to build this app for me. And you tell them exactly what you want to build. At the end of the day, they provide an app that does not meet your requirements. Same thing, what I ordered versus what I got. It did not meet your requirements. By using Agile, we eliminate this from happening totally. So if you look at this, is a very popular picture of Mona Lisa. But let's say, for example, it took 6 months to produce this painting, right? This particular painter used Agile. They didn't say, okay, I'll get it done in 6 months. Just come at the end of 6 months and get your painting. And let's say at the end of every month, they were engaging their customer and saying, okay, this is what the painting looks like right now. How do you see it? Do you like how your hands are folded? Are we good with this? The customer might say, yes, continue. Or they might say, no, I don't want it like that. Let's make this change, right? And then at every point in time, they're engaging the customer. The customer is seeing what's going on. They can give feedback and say, yes, I think this waist looks like my waist, or the hand looks great, and all of that. At the end of 6 months, do you think this customer is going to be satisfied with what they get or dissatisfied? They're going to be satisfied, right? Because you've been carried on through the process. And so this is what Agile does, right? The business teams and the technology teams are working closely together. And at very short intervals, the work that the team has done is presented to the stakeholders and saying, okay, this is what we've done so far on this website. Can we do a test? We do a test, is working, or maybe some parts are not working. Then we get feedback and change it. At the end of the day, when the website is fully launched and all the functionality is there, it will definitely meet the stakeholders' needs. And why is this really important? Like, why is it important? Because think about it. Most Scrum Masters work at companies. Companies are set up to be profitable. Companies are set up to outperform the competition, right? If you are not able to launch products that meet your customers' need, what's going to happen? They're going to turn elsewhere. They're not going to come back to you because, let's say, for example, there's so many banks in Canada. And so if you're just joining, please put in the chat and let us know where you're joining us from. If you missed that, let us know where you're joining us from. We're trying to rep your city. But anyway, so imagine that, like, or I'm a grocery store. If I don't give my customers what they want, they're going to shop somewhere else, right? So this is the reason why companies are really going agile, because they want to make sure that they're building products and services that their customers want. And to build products and services that your customers want, you must be able to test and get feedback early and often. You can't just say, it's going to take me 2 years to build something. That's why, for example, that private sector is more innovative than government. The government is not agile. They still do their projects in the old way, right? And so they end up sometimes, have you noticed that sometimes the government will launch something, and by the time they launch the thing, it doesn't meet people's demands, and then everyone is kind of like upset. Why did it take you guys so long? Why did it take you guys so long to launch a product or a service service is not working, right? We rarely find that in private sector because they promote the agile mindset. They are constantly launching things bit by bit, little by little. How many of you people know threads? Can you give me raise up your thumbs up if you know threads? Threads. So that's if you're on Instagram, you probably know that they launched threads. I've not been on threads for a while. But can someone tell me what threads remind them of? Which app does threads remind them of? Let's make this interactive, people. If you don't want to speak up, you can put it in the chat. What software, what other platform does threads remind you? Or do people say that threads reminds them of? Are you all not on social media? Okay, do you guys all agree that threads is similar to X? That's former Twitter. Yes or no? Please, let's make it interactive. Thumbs up if you agree. Good. Twitter. Thank you. So it's like Twitter. Like it's kind of like Twitter, but so let's also go back and talk about it, right? But is it as good as Twitter? Yes or no? In the comment section, let's talk about it. Is it as good as Twitter? No, it's not as good as Twitter, but they launched it anyway, right? They launched it anyway. Now, let me tell you it's not as good as Twitter, but guess what? There are users on it using it, right? Now, if Facebook wanted to launch a Twitter rival and they decide to, Twitter has been in existence for more than 10 years, I believe. It took them 10 years to get to that extent. Now, if Meta decided that, okay, I want to bring out a website that looks exactly like Twitter, it would take them that much long to launch Threads and they won't get users on it. So Threads, they basically use Agile to say, you know what? We know we're not going to be as good as Twitter, but we still want our users to use the website and give us feedback so that we can improve. Now, I can see Ina put a thumbs down. Ina will be one of those customers that are giving Threads feedback like, see, your product sucks. You guys came out with a lot of noise. We've all joined it, but your product sucks. Please get better. And this is what Threads will now be doing. They'll be like, okay, people are complaining that they cannot maybe tag somebody. I'm just picking out features here because I don't use that app anymore. But maybe I can't send someone a DM on Threads. Feedback will be coming, and then what Meta will do is then they would then be able to say, okay, this is the next functionality that we want to bring up based on the highest number of requests, right? So this is how we use Agile to build. We can't wait to build a fully complete software. We should give our customers something to start to use first of all, and then keep on improving. So now you understand what Agile is all about. But all of you are here, you've heard about Agile, you heard about Scrum, right? One of the things I will want to empower you with when you leave here, for those who may not already know, is to understand the big difference between Agile and Scrum, because they're not interchangeable. They're actually not interchangeable terms. You need to understand exactly what each of these terms mean, right? Because people reach out and say, oh, I want to do Scrum and Agile training. I'm like, yeah, I'll do. Yeah, we do Scrum training. They're like, but will I let Agile? And I'm like, well, yes, because Scrum is a framework in Agile. So think of Agile like an umbrella term under which there are several iterative and incremental methods. So it's an umbrella term. And under Agile, you'll find different methods, different frameworks such as Scrum, XP, Kanban, DSDM, Crystal, and FDD. So simply put, let's use this context. A lot of us are religious, some of us are not. We said religious. I didn't mention what kind of religion, right? People are religious by nature. Some people are religious by nature, right? What does religion mean? Religion really is a set of practices where people believe in like a higher being, or they have a particular way that they relate with a higher being, right? Now, it doesn't, it's also a belief or worship in something above us as human beings, right? That's religion. But when we talk about religion in that way, religion doesn't tell you how you should be religious, what you need to do. It just says belief in a higher being. So think of agile like agile like religion. It says if it's all about incremental and iterative approach to software development. It doesn't tell you how you're going to do this your incremental delivery. Now, under religion, you may be a Christian, you may be a Muslim, you may be Hindu, Buddhist, you may be someone who believes in traditional ancestral religion. So, you believe in ancestral worship. They are all religions. The thing that sets apart each religion from the other is their set of principles, rules, their practices, all of the things they might have, like there's Quran, there's the Bible, there's all of these books that each of these different religions are guided by. So that's the relationship between Scrum and Agile. Agile is a family of iterative and incremental approaches to software delivery. Doesn't tell you how you're going to do it, but just lays out the principle, break it down into small batches, get customer feedback early, right? Be flexible, make changes when required because you want to build exactly what the customer wants. You don't want to build something that is obsolete, right? It doesn't tell you how. Now, on that agile, there are different ways to be agile. You can choose Scrum. Scrum has its own set of principles, practices, roles, and all of that. Kanban has its own different way of doing stuff. So, similar to how people choose their religion, based on what resonates with them, based on what works for them, they choose it. Same thing for companies. So, a company would decide and say, you know what? Based on our industry, based on the work that we do and our workforce and our culture, we decide to adopt Scrum as our agile framework. Or we decide that Kanban works best for us as a company, right? So that is the relationship between Agile and Scrum, where Agile is an umbrella term under which Scrum is just one of the many frameworks that we can use. But why is Scrum so popular? You can see on this image that Scrum is really big. We put that it's really big because it's the most popular framework followed by Kanban. And why? Next slide, we're going to see it. So like I mentioned, this is an informational session. We're going to give you enough information for you to understand Scrum. But of course, to become a Scrum Master, you need deep training, which we offer. And so by joining any of our future classes where you come in for our 6 weeks immersive Scrum Master training, you will get all the information required to quickly upskill and get a Scrum Master job. So Scrum is one of the most popular Agile frameworks. The other popular one is called Kanban, right? And it was developed in 1990. It's a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, and organizations generate value through adaptive solutions for complex problems. Lightweight. So what does lightweight mean? It's simple to understand. So Scrum is a simple thing to understand. Because if we want to make change or we want people to go somewhere rapidly or deliver something rapidly, if we made it a complex framework to learn, trust me, people can't use it, they can't adapt it, and then suddenly we can't give our customers value. So Scrum is made to be very, very simple to understand. By getting trained in a couple of weeks, you can start implementing Scrum. But the thing about Scrum is that you learn Scrum by doing, because what Scrum is like, let's teach people enough about Scrum. As they keep on doing, they get better at doing it. So that's why Scrum is very, very lightweight. And that's why it has been quickly adopted across multiple industries and continues to be adopted. So Scrum is better suited for small and nimble teams. So no more than 10 people. So it's used for a team of 3. You can't be smaller than 3 people in your team, and you can't be more than 10. So that communication is seamless and suitable for the team to continue. So let's put it like this. You know how I'm sure maybe some of you are aware of this. There's this game that they do sometimes when you're doing training where they're like, okay, they take a piece of information and they tell the first person, they say, pass this information to the next person and the next person will pass it on. Have you guys observed that They might say the bed is blue and flies on the tree. Might be the information that they gave the first person. By the time it goes down the chain and it gets to the last person, maybe like 20 people, you'll be surprised that the last person is not saying the same thing. It may have changed from the first information that was passed. It may have evolved to something totally different. The bed is on the tree and something else. And they're like, every other information has been lost. So for Scrum to work better, for us to make changes faster, for us to grow better, for us to deliver value to the customer and be iterative, Scrum only works for a very small team. That's why we need people like Scrum Masters to help that small team to be high performing, to build these powerful solutions, right? So think about it. Where do you think communication will be faster? In a team of 5 or in a team of 25? Guys, so in the comment section, please let me know which team would have better communication, team of 5, team of 25. So please, let's make it interactive. Like I said, this session is free. The only way for me to really get value from this session is if you are interacting. So by responding in the chat, by using your virtual emojis, that's the only payment I require today. Your engagement and your questions, because that's what I'm here to do. Empower you with knowledge to transform your life. Thank you, Ina, for responding. What about the other folks on the call? Which one do you think? I don't want one person's perspective, because someone might give us a perspective now and we might have to dive deep into that. So 5. Okay, thank you, Damilare. Who else? Team of 5. I was hoping someone say team of 25 so that we can ask the person, right? So thank you all. Thank you all for responding. So we've talked about what Scrum is. We're just going to highlight some of the key things you need to know about Scrum to help you in your understanding. We've talked about what Agile is. We took it a step lower to explain the different frameworks under Agile and talked about how Agile is an umbrella term. How think of Agile like religion, while Scrum, Kanban are different religions under that umbrella, right? So Scrum has 3 key roles: the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team. These key roles are what is required to make sure that Scrum is successful. And apart from that, Scrum employs 4 main events. We call them events. Tech people were very fancy. They are meetings actually, but we have to give it a fancy name. So we call them events, right? So they have 4 main meetings that happen in Scrum teams to make sure that Scrum can deliver value through inspection and adaptation. We have the sprint planning, daily Scrum, the sprint review, and the sprint retrospective. We'll talk more about them in the coming slides. So let's talk about what makes up a Scrum team. Let's talk about what makes up the Scrum team. We have the Scrum Master here. They are responsible for coaching the team, the product owner, and the business on the process of Scrum. So that's what you're going to do when you become a Scrum Master or when you become an Agile project manager, right? You are known as the servant leader of Scrum. Servant leaders don't mandate people to do stuff. They create an enabling environment for the people to do good work, right? So that's why Scrum Masters need to be trained in the Scrum process so that they can enable their teams do Scrum better. Then we have the product owner. The product owner is one who says, this is what I want us to do. They're the ones that decide that a website is needed, or they're the ones that may go to an existing website and say, we need to improve this website, we need to add this feature. Every application you have today has a product owner in the company. You just don't know them. So your WhatsApp will have a product owner, may have several product owners because WhatsApp is such a big functionality. It has a lot of functionality. Your app, your banking app that you use to do transactions has someone who is the product owner. That's their work in the company. They are the one that define the who, the what, and the products being developed. They're the ones that will say, okay, maybe we need something. We need to add something to that app for students. We need to add something for repaying loans. We need to be able to change the look and feel of our app. Is no more user friendly. We need to make it simpler. They're the ones who come up with the ideas. They don't implement the ideas though, but they're the ones that come up with the ideas because they are looking at the product from a customer perspective, from a competition perspective. How can we continue to compete with our customers? How can we stay relevant? Because if you are not competing with, if you're not staying relevant and innovating, you will die. We see lots of companies. It happened to BlackBerry, happened to Motorola. I don't know if Motorola still existing. Let me not sue me. I'm not sure, but let me call the ones that I know. It happened to BlackBerry, it happened to Nokia, happened to Kodak. We know what happened to Kodak, right? All these companies were not innovative. But look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is an innovative company. It's gone from what it was to where it is now. Like Coca-Cola is so big. Those are companies that they stay innovative. Think about it. Like if Coke didn't advertise today, you would still buy Coke. Let's not lie. The brand has been ingrained into our minds. It's second nature. If I think of pop, I think of Coke. But they are constantly advertising, constantly innovating, constantly coming out with new products and changing. That's innovation, right? So there's a product owner beside you, and ones that decide, let us keep on bombarding the market with this, right? And then we have developers. So if you notice, these two roles is always going to be one person playing the role. There's going to be one person as a scrum master. There's always going to be one person as the product owner. But we're going to have a number of developers. We call them the development team. These are the people that will turn these ideas that this product owner has into tangible products, into tangible features, right? So they are a self-organizing and cross-functional group of people equipped with all the skills and the roles necessary to implement these products successfully. So there'll be more than one person. We can't have one person building the solution. There'll be several people, as long as this team never exceeds 10. So let's just talk a little bit more about what Scrum Masters do, right? So Scrum Masters facilitate the Scrum process. They ensure that the team follows the Scrum framework effectively. So they are making this thing they're like a coach. They're the ones that help the team to deliver these products to make sure that these companies can still exist, right? They help to remove the any impediments that hinders the progress. They don't build the app, so they don't need tech skills. They don't need any tech skills. They're not building the app. They're not building the website, whatever. They're more like the coach that says, "Well, this is how we're going to use Scrum to deliver the work." Right? They coach and mentor. So when the team has issues, they are going to be there to coach them, provide support and encouragement. Think of them like the team's motivator, right? So this is why they don't have any tech. They don't have any tech. They don't need tech experience. So if you're someone who's looking to transition into tech and start to earn those high paying salaries, Scrum and project management and business analysis are cool ways to get into the industry and start to quickly enhance your pay scale, right? They protect the team from external disturbance. So, like you all work in companies, you know that sometimes some people outside of the team will be coming and put, be causing confusion in the team, asking questions, just throwing people off track, giving them extra work to do that might take them away from what they were meant to do. This is where the Scrum Master comes. They protect their team from external impediments. They also bridge the gap between stakeholders and teams. So they are a liaison between external stakeholders and the team. And finally, they help the team to continuously improve. So as a team, you want to continuously improve. They're the ones that will kind of like set up those meetings to sit down and say, hey, how did we do last time? How can we get better? Right? And they're helping the team to implement better ways of improving so that at the end of at the end of the day, the team can stay on track and deliver what they are required to do. So don't forget, please check the chat. We will be putting how you can ask any questions. So we're about to, wrap up this whole part about Scrum, and then we'll get to a few more interesting parts, like what can you earn, how can you become a Scrum Master, and all of that. So these are some of the things that Scrum teams do. They really work on these 5 Scrum events. This is how this is the Scrum process. We just simplified and put on a one pager. So by joining our class, you would spend time getting to understand these things in detail, how to facilitate them, as a Scrum Master. So the Scrum events are really the sprint. So you know how we talked about that the team will break their work into small batches, small deliverables, right? So it is during a time called a sprint. It's a time box period when a Scrum team will complete a set amount of work. And it could range from a period of 1 week to 1 month. So, which is like, if we're going to build a website, can we see value every 1 week? If a team can decide, okay, our sprint will be 1 week, every 1 week we're going to deliver a functionality. But most teams do it every 2 weeks. So they can say every 2 weeks we're going to deliver this functionality to the end user. So it cannot exceed between 1 week to 1 month. Now, before the team can sit down and say, let's deliver work, they need to sit down and plan and understand the work that they want to do, right? Agreed? Right? They're not going to just jump in and say, well, we want to work. So the team, this is part of the Scrum process. This is how Scrum works. The team would have a dedicated time during which they can plan the work that they want to deliver in the next sprint, in the next 2 weeks. We call that planning time the sprint planning. The Scrum Master will facilitate this and make sure that the team can sit down and plan the work they want to do. And it will happen once during that. It's only once during the 2 week period. So every 2 weeks, the team will sit down, plan. Every 2 weeks, they'll sit down and plan. So we call it the sprint planning. It happens every 2 weeks. The next is daily Scrum or stand-up. How can this team continue working together? Because we talked about, the team working together, business working together, so that the team will be presenting the work that they do at the end of every sprint, like at the end of every 2 weeks, and get feedback, right? So to make sure that the team can do that and make sure they're building the right thing, they meet every day only for 15 minutes. They can't meet for longer than 15 minutes. Say, okay, how are we working towards our goal for this sprint, right? What did we do yesterday? What are we going to do today? And do we have any impediments? By meeting every day, if something is going wrong, they can catch it quickly. Think about it like you and someone planned to do some things. You people have agreed on what to be done and everybody's rules. And people say, okay, we're going to check back in 3 weeks, maybe just one day to the day you're supposed to implement that project. Chances are you might get there and you might be disappointed because maybe someone didn't do their work, something happened, they didn't tell you, and they're only telling you at the last minute. But with Scrum, we implement a daily stand-up so that we're meeting every day just for 15 minutes to see how things are going. And then we go back on our merry way and continue to do our work. By doing the daily Scrum, we can catch things when they happen. Then finally, we've planned, we've been reviewed, we've been meeting every day. At the end of a sprint, on the last day of a sprint, the team would then meet and say, let us review what we did. Did we achieve our goals? What software did we deliver? What software functionality did we deliver? And during this time, they will present this work to the product owner and the stakeholders, right? And if the stakeholders and the product owner accept it, then they can release it to the customer. And then finally, we talked about how the Scrum team does continuous improvement. The team would also have I call it a rest time, a time where they can rest and say, okay, let's look at how we've been working together. Are we working well? Are there things we need to improve in the way we work so that we can get better? So this is the sprint retrospective also happening on the last day of the sprint for the team to discuss what went well, what did not go well, and how can they resolve those problems. The outcome of this event is for them to identify continuous improvement items for their team. So that's it about Scrum, right? In a nutshell, right? I'm going to play a 5-minute video for you that would give you more information about Scrum. So it's movie time right now. So let's go ahead and play this movie.
Suppose you'd like to start a new project.
If you can hear it, please thumbs up, people. Use a virtual thumbs up or in the chat. Thumbs up. Could you hear that sound? If you're hearing it.
Usually you'd draw up a plan, make a schedule, find a project manager, hold endless meetings, and ultimately just hope you don't stumble before you reach the finish line. But what does that usually deliver? Everything's more expensive than expected. You stress about your deadline. The end result could have been better, and energy has drained from your team. These problems are solved with Scrum. With Scrum, you write fewer plans and you do more. In short cycles, we call sprints. You don't work on separate islands, but as one dedicated team. Instead of working on a project with a distant deadline, you constantly deliver functioning products. You don't use final evaluations, but you receive continuous feedback. Scrum is a flexible way of working in a rapidly changing world. It's frequently used in IT projects, so many of the websites you visit or apps you use were made using Scrum. This way of working is used more and more. Scrum was recently used to build a large new bridge. But it can also be used to develop new products, compile budgets and annual reports, organize events in your town, or even to set up a completely new company. How does Scrum work? Let's use the marketing campaign for a new car as an example. In the first week, you take action right away. You share a glimpse of your design through social media. The feedback you receive will be used in week 2. You attract media attention, which leads to new feedback for making improvements. We call these weeks sprints, which are actually mini projects that each produce their own specific results. Instead of knowing exactly where you want to end up, you take a step-by-step approach as you work towards your final ambition, like the successful launch of a new car. A Scrum team has stand-up meetings, works transparently, feels a joint responsibility, is aware of the progress made every day, and has results to celebrate after each sprint. Scrum has 3 roles. First, the product owner, the key stakeholder with a vision who provides direction to the team for each sprint. Then there are team members, 5 to 9 professionals in various disciplines who are jointly responsible for the results. The Scrum Master, a facilitator who focuses completely on the process. Then there are Scrum lists, the product backlog in which you list your ambitions and express how you intend to achieve them. The sprint backlog, the shopping list of products you want to produce in the next sprint. The definition of done indicates precisely what needs to be done by the end of the sprint. And the Scrum board. This shows all of the team members' tasks, which will change from to do to busy to done during a sprint. Then there are 4 meetings. First, the sprint planning meeting. What exactly are we going to achieve during this sprint, and who's doing what? Next, the stand-up. Is everything going according to plan, and are we going to make it? The third meeting is the review, during which you deliver your results and receive feedback. The last meeting is the retrospective. You look back on the process and reflect on what you can improve as a team for the next sprint. Scrum is a powerful way of working that provides speed and energy. Maybe something for your organization too?
All right. Movie is over. So let's talk about the careers in Scrum. So one of the things of why one of the things of why I would like to present this is that you need to understand a career path before you go into. You don't want to find out that this is your career path you're going to play to at some point in time, right? Like maybe as you're doing it, at the point in time you get to a part you can't earn higher than that, or you're just going to get stuck. The beautiful thing about I hope I'm still sharing. Okay. The beautiful thing about Scrum is that you can progress into different roles after being a Scrum Master, right? So based on your experience, what you like, your skill level, and your expertise, you can continue to grow into more senior roles as an Agile professional. So most Scrum Masters eventually become senior Scrum Masters, product owners, Agile coach, the release train engineers, solution train engineers. They can head Agile centers of excellence. They can become like team lead roles. So like as Scrum Masters have people managers that they report into, right? So you can become a leader for Scrum Masters. You can even be like a VP of Scrum, a VP of Agile, where multiple Scrum teams reporting to you, right? So this is a career path that is very rewarding. You don't get bored. You can always change into something else that is much, much higher as you go. And the higher you go, the higher you earn, right? So these are examples of some people who have successfully transitioned into Scrum. You can see some people like this is just a word cloud. I just created a word cloud. I've trained a number of people in this area where there's people who are bankers. And when I mean bankers, they're just purely doing banking. They were in oil and gas. Some people were homemakers. Some people were unemployed. Some people were in entertainment, and they all successfully transitioned. Lawyers, even people who were in the medical, in the pharmaceutical field, all transitioned. So no matter your skill set, like I talked about, like in Scrum, you're leveraging existing skills that you have from a previous job. You don't need tech experience. You just need to be organized, good communication skills, ability to communicate very well, ability to facilitate, bring people together, ability to do documentation, and all of those kind of things are the key skills that would help you. You're very organized. You have good time management skills, critical thinking, problem solving. Those are the skills that are required for Scrum Masters to excel in their job. So no matter your previous experience, this is a career that you can absolutely leverage to get into technology and start to earn. So these are some of the daily job vacancies that we see. In Canada, it's about 5K plus, and in US about 11K. Now, I'm going to give you some data around these numbers because people look at them and just interpret them. Remember that for those who are in Canada, you know that Canada is 10% the size of the US. I believe the US has a 300 million population, while Canada is about 30 something, right? So we're not going to see the same numbers. Canada is a smaller country in terms of population than America. So the numbers reflect that. In my opinion, though, for us to see a 5K plus job vacancy, 5K plus job vacancy for a company that is for a country that is 10 times that is just 10% of America. In my opinion, there's more jobs per population of people in Canada than in the US because 11K for that number is, in my opinion, is small, right? Scrum Masters get to work remote. You can work remote from anywhere in the world or hybrid. Nowadays, employers are mandating that people come back into the office a few days of the week. But the good thing about working as a Scrum Master or in tech is that you can work remote. There are roles that you can never work remote. You cannot work remote in the care job. You can't work remote if you work in retail. You can't work remote if you work in construction. And I can go on, right? If you're a teacher, you can't work remote. Like, it's not going to happen. So if you're someone who's looking for work-life balance and you want to work remote, this is a career path that you want to check out. Entry-level salaries are about 90,000. Like the lowest I've seen was 85K, but most of it is really around the 90 and the 100K range. The salaries range between 90 to 148K Canadian, and the salaries get higher as you progress. So there's people beyond this who earn more than that. So depending on the kinds of certifications that you have, let's say, for example, people who go into things like transformation roles, agile transformation coaches, safe practice consultants, like higher skilled people in Scrum or in Agile, and salaries above 180 and higher. You have the ability to work in the lucrative tech field, so you don't need any tech experience to work here. You don't need any coding skills to get into tech by choosing these roles. And finally, the one I really, really love is that you help other people succeed. What's better than that than coaching a team, teaching them about Scrum, and they're using this to develop these products. When I see the products that my teams come out with and the functionality, I'm very, very proud. And of course, best of all, you don't get to work on weekends or after hours. It's a strictly 9 to 5 job. I mean, there might be times you want to work extra because you want to work extra, but this is not a job that requires you to pull extra time or work on weekends. So don't forget, we're sharing the Slido details in the chat. Please put your questions there. We will get to that. So now that you understand about Scrum, about Agile, you watch some videos, right? How can you become a Scrum Master? So we offer a simplified approach for you to become a Scrum Master. And we're looking to empower the next generation of Scrum Masters to fill that growing need in the industry. So we have two classes. We have the 6-week power up training. So it's literally like a training that powers you up. It is our most practical training. You will come out with a project that you did yourself through the Scrum process that you're proud of. Like I just facilitated a what's it called? My last class just graduated yesterday. And when they started, and I told them they're going to build a website and they're going to build a Scrum Master website, they were struggling. They didn't believe that they could do it. But yesterday, they were so proud. They came and said, we're so proud of ourselves. We did it. Their website is so beautiful. Before we end, I'm going to show you the website that people who attended my class built. I'm proud of what they achieved. So this is I'll show you some of the things that if you attend this class, these are some of the things that you can, you'll be able to put on your resume and say this is a project you've done. So by attending our practical class, you don't have to look for work experience. The work experience is already there because you did it through our class. Then we also have a 4-day class. So the 4-day class is for those who may not have time and want to just learn about Scrum quick and just do the exam and then come back for a practical class later. So we also have that. At the end of it, you will be able to go write your exam, you have a resume reviewed and all of that, and you can start applying for the job. So I'll play a very quick video. So this video is it talks about our classes. So this is what our training is like.
Looking for a Scrum Master training that prepares you for real-world experience? Then you've come to the right place. You'll learn all the skills you need to go from newbie to Agile expert without breaking a sweat, so you can secure a rewarding Scrum Master role and feel like a pro, all in 6 weeks. Here's how it works. The 4-day training takes you through the principles of the Scrum Guide, Scrum roles, Scrum events and artifacts, and deep dive into backlog management, user stories, setting up Scrum teams and Scrum metrics. Next comes a 1-month period where you'll experience a Scrum practice simulation on a real project. During this time you will act as a Scrum Master and facilitate all Scrum events, including daily Scrum, sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective and backlog refinement to help cement your understanding of the Scrum Guide. Best of all, you get to use the real software tools like Jira, Confluence, retrospective and estimation tools that Scrum teams use. You will be supported by an Agile coach who will guide you on Scrum best practices throughout your learning process. All classes are virtual. So, if you are ready to begin your learning process and kickstart a successful tech career in Scrum, why not go to our website and register for your preferred training program, and we will see you in class.
Okay, so we're going to get to the Q&A shortly. So before we get there, so this is just a quick run through of our next class. Our next class starts May 25th. So that's in 14 days. And the 6-week package, what does it include? It is an instructor-led training. It's virtual. You can join from anywhere in the world. Um, after the training, you also have access to the training video so that you can rewatch it. We would give you a 1-month practical training. So that's where you do you would do an actual project. I'll show you one of the projects that the teams just completed. You also have access to our Scrum Master community on WhatsApp. So our Scrum Master community on WhatsApp is a very, very powerful community. In this place, we're sharing job opportunities. I do like interview prep, sometimes some drop-in sessions so you can come for interview prep. We do regular monthly webinars where you can continue to learn about tech. I invite speakers from different tech fields to give information to empower our community. So there's so much information there going there. People also even build connection. I recently found out some people in that community, came together, set up like a PMP facility, like a PMP preparatory class, which was really cool. Now, apart from that, you also get 2 free templates. So we give you a template that will help you to explain what to do your first month as a Scrum Master. We also have a template for you to help you book all your Scrum meetings when you eventually get the job. And we help with post-training support. So we help with your Scrum Master resume review and your interview preparation. So by attending this class, you get a discount. So we are shaving 1,100 off the training. So rather than paying 2,500, you have a 48-hour discount. So it's valid for only 48 hours. It would end on May 14th. So you get to save 1,100. So rather than paying 2,500, you're paying 1,400 only. And you can also pay for this in installments. So by using Afterpay on our website, you'll be able to pay for this in just 4 installments. So each time is just charging you $395 for you to get at that detailed Scrum Master practical training. Then if you're someone who wants to just go for the 4-day class, like you don't have the time to do 6 weeks, you could also attend the 5-day class, and this is what you get. We will also review your resume, but just only one review. You have access to training videos, and you also have access to our Scrum Master community. So I just want to preface with a quote: no more excuses, no more self-sabotage, no more self-pity, no more comparing yourself to others. It's time to step up, take action right now, and start living your life in purpose. So if you want to get into tech, no more excuses. Today is the day you get into tech, right? So please go ahead. I'm going to go into. I'm going to bring up Slido right now. I want to do a quick quiz. So if you've been paying attention, I want to do a quick quiz while I have your attention here. So give me a moment. Let me bring up our Slido page and enable our next quiz. All right, so please join our quiz. I want to see people join our quiz. We're just going to ask some questions just to test your knowledge. I'm looking forward to the person who's going to come up on the leaderboard. Join the quiz. If you go to Slido, in case you join late, if you go to Slido or scan this QR code, you should be in the quiz right now. Thank you, Ina, for joining. Don't worry, it's a very easy quiz. It's just going to test your knowledge, and at least you have bragging rights that you attended a Scrum training and maybe you got all the answers. So scan the QR code that you can see. It will take you to the page, or go to slido.com and enter the code 2422735. Thank you, Tori. Waiting for more people to join so that we can kick off this quiz. Waiting for more people to join so that we can kick off the quiz. So I'll just give you 1 more minute to join, and then whoever is on the quiz will go ahead, please, so that we're trying to make sure that we can end on time. Just be mindful of people's time. As a Scrum Master, I'm used to time boxing, so I will just give you all 1 more minute. It's a good quiz. You'll be able to test your knowledge, and at least you know that you've achieved something. So 1 more minute. Is anybody having issues accessing the quiz? If you are, let me know so that we can guide you through it. Anybody having issues? All right, people, we're trying to make sure that people can participate. Please, please, please make sure that you can make the coach proud and pay the coach back in her time by being engaged. Okay, so we have only 2 people joining the quiz. We're going to go ahead and start. Thank you, Ina, Enna, and Tori. So I'll start the quiz. So please go ahead and answer. It's a timed quiz. Awesome. So let's reveal the correct answer. The correct answer is the third one. So which of the following best describes the role of a Scrum Master? They facilitate the Scrum process, remove obstacles that the team faces. So let's see the leaderboard. Let's see who's leading. Tori is leading. That question was answered in 11 seconds. Next question. Let's reveal the correct answer. The correct answer is option 3. Scrum is a framework within which people can address complex, adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. So who's leading? Tori is still leading. Great job, Tori. Great job, Ina. At least you guys, at this point in time, people are answering the questions. People are getting the questions, though. It's just that one person is faster. So you all are still both winners. Next question. Correct answer. You all are good. You're answering the questions really well. So which of the following statements best describes the relationship between Scrum and Agile? Scrum is a framework that operates under the broader umbrella of Agile methodologies, focused on incremental development and iterative progress in project management. Fantastic. You both got the answer. Tori is still leading, just fastest fingers first. We just have 2 more questions and then we'll go straight to Q&A. Correct answer is the roles in Scrum are the product owner, Scrum Master, and the development team. Congrats on answering all of that. Leaderboard is still Tori. Now the final one. Okay. Let's see. Let's see where we are right now. Correct answer revealed. What does the term sprint refer to? It's not running, obviously. A short, consistent cycle during which is a set amount of work must be completed. So who made it to the leaderboard? Congratulations. Congratulations. Tori came first, really, because Tori answered the question in the fastest time. But both Tori and Ina are winners, first of all, because they showed courage by joining the quiz, which I absolutely like. So you're both winners in my mind. And also, apart from that, you all got the questions 5 out of 5. So please, for those who didn't participate, I want you all to use your please give them a shout out, like with the emojis and reactions. Thank you so much for participating in that. So let's go to the Q&A. Let's go to Q&A. So let's go to Q&A. I will open up the Q&A right now. Let's see if we have any questions there, and then we'll open up the floor. Yeah, okay. So the first question is, by 6 weeks, is it every day or the week? So we'll send you more details, but let me explain how the program works. So the first 2 weeks, Saturday and Sunday, for 4 hours, for 4 weeks. So for Saturday and Sunday, 2 weekends, we will do the theoretical part of the class, right? The practical part of the class happens every day, but in the evening. So that's after hours when people are done with their work. So the practical part of the class is Monday to Friday. So weekdays, Monday to Friday in the evenings. And the timing will vary from anywhere from 2 hours to 30 minutes, depending on the Scrum event that we're doing. So does that answer your question? So for the first 2 weeks, Saturday and Sunday, we will do the practical, we'll do the theoretical, and then for the next 1 month, in the evening hours, any ranging between 30 to 2 hours at the most, we will do the practical part of the class from Monday to Friday for 1 month. Any questions about that? I think that was another answer that question, that asked that question. Any more questions about the 6-week class? Okay, so I'm going to mark that. So this question is, Pam, I have completed the PSM1 and the SAFe 6 certification. However, I am finding it difficult getting called for interviews. Do you assist with resume review? Yes, we do. We do assist with resume review and interview preparation. So I don't know who submitted this. If you're here, do you want to give me an idea? When you say you're not being called, I'm finding it difficult getting called for interview. So are you getting called at all? If you are not, that's a different question. That's a different issue. Sorry. Now, if you're getting called and you're not getting past maybe the first stage, that's not a whole totally different thing. So if you're a person who dropped that, do you care to just share your experience so that we can address it on the call?
Hi, Pam, it's me, Tori.
Okay, hi.
I'm not even getting to the next step. Like, I never get any feedback after the submission of the resume.
Okay. So how long ago did you do so I'll just ask several questions if you care to share, and then so how long ago did you do your training? How long ago did you do your training? And then
I
was
read
it like,
the
yeah?
I
Go
read the
ahead.
certification in March.
Okay, March, as well as SAFe. And you did training, like, was your training practical? Like,
Yeah.
okay, your trainings were practical. Okay, so maybe you should just book some time. Let's assess it. And then what kind of help is the person who trained you, like, what kind of help are they providing in terms of, helping you get to that stage where, yeah, you are
So the
finally
training
getting
did not
comfortable?
include the resume and the interview part. It was just up until we get the certification. So I'm
I
basically
see.
just doing the resume and all myself.
Okay, but did you do did you get to facilitate the Scrum event? Did you have an actual project that you did and all of that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is my assistant will send to you my can you make sure Cynthia, can you make sure you send her my Calendly link um to book a meeting with me. So send her my Calendly link, send her the 15-minute one. Let's connect. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor. I'm going to open up the floor. Any questions? Any questions that you have about Scrum, about getting in, about the training? Any questions? Okay, don't be shy. All right, so if there are no questions, we will be wrapping up the class. Hopefully, I think we've shared our contact details for those who, Tori, I can't see, what's your name? What's your screen name? Tori's here.
Victoria.
What's Victoria? Okay, all right. So I just sent you a link. You can find some time there and book some time with me. So if feel free to if you don't have any more questions, then we'll just go ahead and wrap up. I just have a few more questions to ask before we wrap up. So let me play the next question. So when for those who joined at the beginning, I asked a question that you should let us know what was your rank your knowledge from a scale of 1 to 10 about Scrum and Agile. So now, please, can you rank your knowledge from 1 to 10, your knowledge of Scrum and Agile at this end of this session? So now, at this point in time. So please rank your knowledge at the end of this class. It's very helpful. Feedback is a gift from those that give it. And we really use, as a small business owner, feedback is so important for us. So please go into Slido and rank and help us. So if you go into Slido, please tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your knowledge of Scrum and Agile at this point in time? Are you all able to access Slido? So please help the coach. This is my payment for so someone is putting, what software do I need to know? Let me check chat. Is there a way it's going to be reflected on our resume? I'm not sure. What's this question? You asked a question. Is there a way this is going to be reflected on our resume? What exactly is going to be reflected on your resume? If you can go off mute and ask your question, because I'm trying to get the context. I don't know if Ena is still on the call. Okay, so I'm going to go to Mahoney. I hope I pronounced that well. What software is needed to know as a Scrum Master? So there's a lot of software that you need to know as a Scrum Master. There's Jira, Confluence, Asana, Trello, of course, Excel. They're like Mural. So lots of collaboration tools. There's so many tools out there. If you want to get the information for free, you can follow me on social media. I've explored some of this software there. Now, if you ever join our class and do the training, you will get to use all of this software. So Mahon, I hope I answered your question. Do you have any other questions? So I listed out a number of them: Jira, Confluence, Trello, Asana, Mural. Then there's so many retrospective tools out there that Scrum Masters need to know. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Okay, so yes, so I'm looking at the chat and you said, can we include this training project as part of our work? Yes, it's an actual job that you did, right? Before we wrap up, I'll just show you my student portfolio. These are some of the projects that people have trained have done. This is one. So they've done several projects. This is one of the latest ones that we just finished. We just launched. This website was fully developed by this team. This is what they developed. They call it the Scrum Evolutionary Toolbox. They call it Welcome to Agile Allies, our Scrum Master resource. So if you can see, this is what this is about. This Scrum Master Toolbox is your go-to resource hub for everything related to the world of Scrum Mastering. Whether you're a seasoned Scrum Master or just starting out, we've got you covered with the latest Scrum tools, books, blogs, templates, and practices. So this is what they did. They did all of this. All of this is their website. So if you want to see the top 5 books, if you went here, you will see it. If you want to see the top 5 tools, I'll drop it in the chat. People can review it, right? This was created by our class during the last class. So for that question you're asking, my own, even the tools that you're asking for, they put the top 5 tools. So this is some of the things that we at Redluxe, not only are we just doing projects, we are doing projects that are relatable, that are usable, that you can put on your resume. So for that person that's asking about tools, if you go there, you see the top 5 tools that you should know. The students also put links to it. They did a very, very good job. So you can go here and get all of the information that you need. And yes, you can put our projects on your what's it called, on your resume. So thank you for those that put in information. So I can see that, well, I think someone was at 4 or so, or 5. It shifted a bit. So we've kind of shifted left by 1, which very, very helpful for me as a trainer. When we come here and we're doing this free of charge, we also want to know that people are getting value. So thank you for those that gave us feedback. And then finally, if you want to drop maybe a comment on how this if you can please share your feedback on this information session, it would help other people who join this information session to be able to see what they can get out of the info session. So if you can go share some feedback, I would be extremely grateful. So be extremely grateful. So please share your feedback. So let's just wrap up. So don't forget that we have a discount, and the discount ends the discount ends May 14th. Our next class starts in exactly 2 weeks from now. So head over to our website or reach out directly to me and my team if you want to get this discount. The discount is live on our website right now. So you're saving 1,100 off. So instead of paying 245, you're paying 24, and it's available right now. And if you wanted to go for the 4-day class, it's just simply 500. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'll just end this with a quote, and I'll say, the future depends on what you do today. There is no passion found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. So take action today and connect with us on all our social media platforms. Thank you for being here. All right. Bye, everyone. And you know where to find us. Reach out directly. If you want to chat, go to our website and get your training right now. And I can't wait to see you in class on May 25th.